Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Fantasy Football University, FFU, coming at you yet again in championship week of the fantasy football season. That is week 17. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am Mr. Bildacoustas. I'm here with Mr. Tom Lang. Are you just as excited as I am, sir?
Let's get ready for some football. I cannot wait for championship week. I cannot wait to create that underdog story as we talked about, the other day and make sure that we make our known present in this league.
Yes, and for anybody who doesn't know, to catch everybody up who hasn't been following us the whole time, it's kind of the league that we've been sharing with everybody the whole year, the league that we live streamed with the draft. We made it all the way to the championship. I would say we're decided underdogs in that championship. Some interesting situations that we have. We're essentially going into play the guy who's got JSN and Devon Achane among other guys on his team. He's well stacked, but we got a good team too, so we're gonna give it our
Yeah.
best shot. And
Our
we
our
were
team is pretty swell.
it's pretty swole indeed. Although our team did suffer a suspension, so we'll talk a bit more about that today.
Yeah, but that suspension player of DK Metcalf hasn't really been doing much this
Oh,
entire
he's been
season.
doing a lot as of late. So
Uh,
yeah, it definitely hurts. It
we
definitely hurts.
have we have more upside players to worry about now.
We'll make the best of it. Speaking of that, while it's at the top of the well, it's at the top of my head here. So, DK Metcalf is appealing the suspension. I don't know what he thinks he's going to get out of it, maybe from 2 games to one. But I bring this up because there's a 0.5% chance that he appeals and somehow wins and then gets to play in the game. So maybe if you were thinking of
I
dropping
don't.
Metcalf, I
I,
mean,
I honestly think there'll probably be a coach's decision not to play him, though, to be honest.
I think you're about right. Maybe we're just being too paranoid about it, whatever. But I
I
don't
would
know.
anticipate basically not see him out on the field this week, no matter what the circumstance is. I don't care if he appeals it. What happened there was it's non-negotiable. And
Right.
even if he wins the appeal, which there is a possibility, I believe the only reason why he's appealing this is because of the guaranteed money that he's on the table of losing.
Yep.
So that is the biggest appeal there. Um, and honestly, this is probably the big piece of pie that he's received in the NFL for a long time with a lot of guaranteed money. And for him to have to give something back, for making a big mistake, sometimes you don't learn from them when you're just granted, uh, you know, uh, earning your appeal back. You have to earn that back. So,
Yeah, we should make a point on that and just kind of in general. So we are recording this. Normally we record our preview show on Thursday mornings, but we got some holidays going on, so we're getting ahead of the game this week a little bit. We're
yeah.
recording this early on Wednesday morning. We as of yet don't have the news. So keep an eye on that for whatever you might be doing on waivers or maneuvers for your team. To that point, we've got some Christmas games. We got a bunch of games that don't happen on Sunday. So if you got to make decisions earlier in the week to, you know, make decisions that would otherwise be affecting other decisions that would be happening later, you need to make those decisions earlier. That makes
And
sense in the
do
way that I
we
said it.
do we really understand what we're putting ourselves into with the Netflix Christmas this year?
I don't
The
know, but we keep getting
games.
more and more streaming services.
Well,
But
no. Well, the game situation, you got Josh Johnson at quarterback. Then you that's the 1 o'clock or yeah, the 1 o'clock game against Dallas. Then you have um whoever the guy is in Minnesota against Detroit. Detroit's going to win that game handily. And then you got forget his name already, the third string quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs against Denver. Um,
Oladukin.
yeah. So literally, you have like if you put make a parlay with the Dallas, Detroit, and Denver, that could be at minus 105 odds at that point where you could double your money.
Yeah,
I
it's
take
just
that all day long.
it's
That's a Merry
just
Christmas right there.
it's just a win-win-win.
Oh, and first
Yeah.
off, everybody, happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, whatever it is that you celebrate. We are happy to have you guys with
Happy
us.
Hanukkah.
And happy Fantasy Football Championship week. And last little note I wanted to make, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I know that people could get it in their mind to check out and not pay attention, but even if like you're not in the championship, pay attention, keep it going. I mean, stay competitive
100%.
because it will
100
help you for next year for sure.
Yeah, not only will it help you for next year, but in certain leagues there's points to be played for. and a point champion and also a second runner-up champion. And even if you're 100 points behind those guys could fail this week and put up 60 points. And if you didn't really just do your homework and put something on the table for you to actually provide, because I've seen championships basically where they were like 70 points to 60 points, like just both teams completely failed. And the runner-up guys put up massive points, and then they lost they lost their point opportunity to cash out there. So I've seen that plenty of times. Keep playing to the end.
Anything can
Play to
happen.
the play to the fat lady sings. Because I'll tell you something right now. You all make an investment into your league, whether it's whatever the buy-in is, or if there's no buy-in, whatever it is.
Money,
Stay
integrity.
money, integrity, stay competitive. And not only that, but it's called keep away from other players as well too. Play smart, play football, play fantasy football, and this will help you next year to win your fantasy football championship.
That's right. So before we jump in, a couple of little notes on our show and everything. So this is the last week that we're going to be doing 2 shows a week. Starting next week, we're going to assume our off-season schedule of 1 show a week. For now anyway, at our current situation. We will next week we will touch upon the week 18 stuff for everybody who's miserable enough to actually have a week 18 championship. We'll cover a little bit of that. We have some other cool stuff. And then in the off season, we have a lot of stuff that we'll be covering. We'll be reviewing the year. We'll be taking a look at all the final finishers. We'll be pointing out guys. We'll be getting a preview of next year. We'll be covering controversial topics. That's going to be very fun for the off season.
Yeah, and I think some of these controversial topics, as I brought up, a couple weeks ago, was those are probably going to be TikTok live shows that we're going to get a lot of audience and have people interject with us through it. So I think that's going to be a fun aspect. And we'll obviously record that show and drop it onto all of our podcast channels.
Absolutely. So we thank you guys for staying with us. We're planning on growing. We're planning on getting things big, and we're excited to get into this now. Let's get right in. No more ado here. So week 17 championship week. We got the full slate of games. This is going to be a crazy, crazy week. And just a final reminder, all of our must starts and probably starts will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So please check us out there and check us out wherever we are. We're everywhere, podcast, Spotify, Apple, etc. All right, let's go. Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Commanders. Dallas are road favorites, -7 points. The over under there is 50.5 points. I'm encouraged by this line for the Dallas Cowboys. They were kind of stifled in the second half a little bit against the Chargers, but I think they bounce right back and close out with a big banger. And all your Cowboys should do a good job to help you win your league here. So you're playing Javonte Williams, you're playing CeeDee Lamb, you're playing George Pickens, you're playing Fergalicious, and you're playing Dak Prescott. You're playing the whole team. A quick note on Javonte Williams. So he has the injury designation situation. I think he's going to be just fine for this game. However, and Tommy, you brought it up a little bit in the waiver show. If Javonte can't go, Malik Davis is a smash play.
Yes.
So most people who have Javonte should already have Malik Davis on their team. If not, I mean, if you got nobody else that you were thinking about picking up at running back, go ahead, scoop up Malik Davis in the, rare event that maybe Javonte doesn't play. Malik Davis could win you your league there.
Yeah, and I mean, you've already seen him basically getting his target share on the ground and his touches. So I mean, it's impossible to have to ignore that at this point. He's going to get carries. He's going to be the only guy that's getting carries if he takes over for Javonte due to injury. And again, you never know. I mean, they may want to rest him for next year. They may not want to have to play him for the next 2 games because of the situation of him being injured. Why re-aggravate something for the offseason, have all offseason to recuperate from that?
Because they have no commitment to him, and why not? And there's also
No,
incentives built in there
and
with
I know
Javonte.
that I know they have no commitment to him, but again, it sounds like they're going to be bringing him back next year, and they also want to see what they got in Malik Davis as well too.
I wouldn't I wouldn't bet on that. If Javonte's playing, I play Javonte and move on. You know what I mean? But again, keep an eye on that. Pay attention to the news this week, and maybe there'll be a switch. So pay attention to that. No must starts for the Commanders. Probably starts. We got one probably start in this whole game. Tommy, any qualms playing Chris Rodriguez at all here? I
I
mean,
mean,
based on what your options are, I guess. But Chris Rodriguez could be a good play here.
yeah, with no Williams, I mean, the rush defense is not the same. So yeah,
Right.
100%. I'm leaning there. He's still getting his 15 touches. I mean, he got that against the Eagles last week, and the Eagles have a better rush defense. So uh, I'm playing all day long there. And in order for, Josh Johnson is an okay quarterback.
Yeah.
He's more of a game manager kind of thing. So I think they manage the ball on the ground. I mean, it could be a JCM opportunity, but I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, it's a high over under over 50 points. I got it. Most of it should be going to Dallas, but like I'm not gonna ignore the opportunity for it. So I think he's well placed there. Probably you judge your options as you have them. I am worried to your point about Josh Johnson, but maybe I should assuage it just a bit. He's a better backup than a lot of other guys. He's better than, what Kansas City's throwing out there,
I
for
got,
example.
as we talked about on the waiver show a little bit about Debo, as you made him a drop candidate, and we discussed that one a little bit. I do feel that Debo has an opportunity to produce in this game.
I hope you're right. So yeah, let's get to the other options here. Yeah, let's just stick with the Washington Commanders. McLaurin and Debo. Like, I mean, I guess, right? I mean, the over under says it's Dallas. Washington's at home. I mean, all signs point to doing it, except we don't know what we're gonna get out of Josh Johnson, really.
Well, let me pull up the information. Let me pull up something real quick and
Sure.
just continue.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Yeah. While you pull that up, I'll just say that as somebody, we have Debo in the league we were just kind of mentioning. I'm cautious about playing it. I know that a bunch of people might have McLaurin. It's a trepidatious thing to try to get them in there now, considering, even if forget Mariota for just a second, it's pretty much going to be Josh Johnson. You don't know what you're getting out of it, and even Josh Johnson himself, like even if you get like let's say you get a depressed amount of pass attempts that you would have otherwise gotten, like five less pass attempts split amongst McLaurin, Debo, throw in whatever McNichols gets, etc.
so,
Like it's not going to be that pretty, I think.
so I mean, this is kind of going, this is going back to 2021. But because I'm trying to look at the season that he had multiple games started, multiple opportunities there. 2021, he was on actually multiple teams that year. His QBR was 99 rating. His QBR rating was 99. He had 57 completions out of 85 attempts, 638 yards, five touchdowns and two interceptions, and three sacks within those 4 games. So he's going to average a sack per game. I don't know if the
This is
pressure.
years ago. I don't know how
This is
relevant this is.
20. I know that, but you know what? Years ago, Philip Rivers just came out of nowhere, right? So I don't know. I mean,
All right, all right.
if somebody still has it, and they're a game manager, they're going to still have the opportunity to put something out there. Now, I don't think this is going to be a full game script opportunity, but I do think in order for them to keep up with the Cowboys, they got to work the ball on the ground and they got to get creative with Debo. So I do think that Debo has an opportunity. I think he has the highest opportunity of that on that offense to be the highest fantasy score this week
Over Rodriguez.
over Rodriguez because he is the most versatile player on their offense.
Okay. I'll say this. I think the floor is better with Debo than with McLaurin, in a game like this. But
100%.
I guess you'll just have to, take a look at the options that you have and make a
I
decision
I
accordingly.
really
I
think,
mean,
and just to take it to our league, I really think that we should play him. And even if he's our flex, it's just a situation where I think that there is massive upside to play there. It stinks that it's, obviously the first game of the week and Thursday. But, I definitely think that it could be a nice Christmas present at 1 p.m.
we'll see. We'll see. We got to make it for the right decisions. We have some other options that maybe we end up getting, and we'll judge that as we have it. Other options here for the Commanders. I'm a fan of Ben Sinnott, but not here. I mean, look for next year for
Yeah,
him. Not here.
that's move on from there.
Yeah. And nothing else to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys. So there we go. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. Detroit is road favorites, -7 points. The over-under is 43.5 points. This line changed a lot. It was at like -5, and now because of the quarterback situation, I'm guessing, and people betting it up, we've got the Lions -7. So yeah, must starts in this game. Basically, most of the Lions. You're playing the Lions defense. You're playing Jahmyr Gibbs. You're playing Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you're playing Jameson Williams. Quick note on Amon-Ra St. Brown. He did not practice. He didn't practice this week as of yet. We've been here before. He's going to tough it out and play in this game. We should pretty much assume.
Yeah.
If you want to insure yourself, go ahead and pick up Tesla as an emergency, but he's going to play.
Yeah, I mean, and the other big thing is Detroit needs to win this game.
Absolutely.
If they lose this game, they're out of playoff contention, and it'll be the first time in what, 2 years that they didn't make the playoff
3 years or so.
after the dreadful 20 years of being a Detroit fan.
Yep.
This would be a very, very dramatic finish if they lose this game. I don't
They
see
will
them
not.
losing this game. They will not lose this game, but they did lose 3 out of 4 games, so that is a pretty heavy skid, and some of those games they should have won. So I do think that they I hate saying the word smash because every single time I say this team is going to smash, they don't smash, but I really think this team should smash Minnesota this week.
I think so. I mean, let's not underestimate Minnesota's defense. And therefore, I mean, let's jump to probably starts. I mean, that's why we've got Jared Goff here, probably. Maybe his ceiling is lower than it would have otherwise been. I mean, and we got some of these guys in must starts that are just better starts than Goff here. So, judge what you have. But if you have Goff and you don't have any other options, you're probably throwing him in anyway. So keep an eye on that. Other probably starts in this game. We got Aaron Jones here, and we've also got Justin Jefferson. So Aaron Jones has the injury consideration himself. He's going to play. He was limited with the ankle thing. I mean, he got hurt in the game this past week, and then he came back in, so he should be fine. Justin Jefferson finally had a great game. Finally. If he's going to have a good game, I mean, in a game like this where they're going to have to throw to keep up, I guess you got to roll with Jefferson. It's going to be real hard to sit him in your championship week. I got it. It's been really, really bad, really, really bad. And then he had one good game, but it's going to be hard to sit him. I think you could roll with Jefferson here.
Mhm.
Um, Other options in this game. So, like we said, if you want to insure yourself against Amon Ra, you could go ahead and pick up Tesla, but Amon Ra is tough. He's going to stick it out. Like Tommy said, they need to win that game. No need to play any of the tight ends. On the Minnesota side, we already talked about it. Addison was a drop candidate. You're not throwing in Naylor. Hawkinson, what, emergency tight end if you need it? I feel like there's way better options. Like,
I think there's way better options, but I think he's going to be the primary option, as little short dump offs when needed.
I mean, how good are those,
Not
Like,
great, but I mean, if you're in a extra of half a point per reception for tight end league, and he gets six catches, that's pretty good points right there.
that's fine, but it's a very specific situation. Wonder who that applies to.
Hmm.
So yeah, keep an eye on that. I think there's better tight end options across the board. Let's go to the next game. More Christmas good quarterbacks playing. We've got the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Denver are road favorites minus 12 and a half points. Man, you wouldn't think you're seeing that line before the year started. The over-under there is a paltry 36 and a half points. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the greatest defense of the week. Play the Broncos defense. They should win your week this week. Yeah, the starting quarterback is Olajuwon. It's not Gardner Minshew, and it's definitely not Patrick Mahomes this week for Kansas City. Other must starts, you're playing RJ Harvey and you're playing Cortland Sutton. Let's go. Let's go to probably starts. This is where we've stuck Troy Franklin. So here's the deal, though. So if Pat Bryant plays, I don't think he's a probably start. I think he goes to some like a decent shot because a lot of it is he's cutting into what would otherwise be his time, even though he's still performing. Pat
Hmm.
Bryant should be playing in the game. He's getting out of the concussion protocol, hopefully. So just keep an eye on that news this week. And this is where Bo Nix is in a game where their implied points is 24 and a half points. I mean, let's go, Bo Nix. And they absolutely need to win if they want to keep that one seed. So now I know you were mentioning it earlier in the week, like this is the kind of game that Kansas City would win. I don't think that's the case here.
I don't think it either, but honestly, I hope it happens because I want to see the Chargers take it over.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Chargers are going to have to win their way through on the road in the playoffs this year. We'll see how that goes. Other options in this game. I'm not playing a single other Chief. That includes Kelsey. That includes Worthy, Hollywood, Pacheco, Hunt. I don't want to play any of the Chiefs. Right? Is that correct?
That is very correct.
All right. Broncos, though, like we mentioned, keep an eye on the Bryant situation that affects how we feel about Franklin, but we're not playing Ingram. We're not playing any of the other guys there. So yeah, we mentioned all the guys we're talking about. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Houston Texans at the LA Chargers. The Chargers are home favorites, -1.5 points. The over-under is a small 39.5 points. This is going to be a good game. Huge AFC playoff implications in this game. So the line is small and it's very, very close. So, and they're both good defenses. So must starts. You got both the Texans and the Chargers. This could be a slugfest. I wonder if they actually get to the 39.5. The only other must start in this game is Nico Collins. Tommy. I mean, I hope he PPRs his way to some and he hopefully gets himself a touchdown. But like, it's going to be a slugfest, this kind of game. So over,
Yeah, I do think that Omarion Hampton has to be a must start this week. I understand it's a situation against Houston, but Houston bent very heavily against Ashton Jeanty, who finishes the number one running back of the week. 24 touches, 128 yards, a touchdown, one catch through the air, 60 yards and a touchdown. He had almost 200 all-purpose yards.
I think it felt. I don't want to take any credit away from that, and I hear what you're saying. You're right, but it just to the untrained eye, it looked a little fluky, did it not? You
I
know,
mean, fluky is one thing, but I mean, when you're doing it on multiple carries, multiple drives, I mean, it just I don't know.
Can I tell you, this is the perfect time to bring this up. This is actually where I was debating about where to put Hampton. I think I have Hampton ahead of every guy in probably starts and below every other person in must starts. It's very close for me. And I have to make a decision in my other league. Who do I flex? Hampton or Quorum? That's a difficult decision for me to make. So,
Honestly, I'd probably go flex Hampton.
okay. I mean, we'll get to that game, but you're right. Can I give you another feather in your cap with Hampton? So Vidal is day to day. So that's even more work for Hampton.
Of
So
course.
it should be all right. Again, maybe I'm being a little paranoid about the Texans and keeping him in probably starts. So
Yeah, I mean, we've been very, very paranoid about the Texans all season.
rightfully so.
Rightfully so. I mean, it's just kind of the same thing with the Chiefs, but the Chiefs turned into the Jets. So
Well, they stopped caring at some point. That clearly the Chargers care. So and the Texans care. Let's go to other guys and probably start here. I mean, basically because we're playing the Texans and because of, up and down play from Herbert, this is where we got Ladidi. This is where we got Lad. So judge your options. There are better options than Lad McConkey this week. But again, on your team, he's probably among the best. So judge your options as you have them. The only other probably start, this is where we got Dalton Schultz. This is it, man. Like he's been good all year, basically for most of the season. He's been good the last couple of weeks. Let's go Dalton Schultz, right? Especially
yeah,
in tight end bonus leagues.
I think yeah, definitely a tight end bonus leagues, but just regular traditional leagues. I think he could have a nice week this week.
Absolutely. In all formats. We talked about it. He's been performing all year. Quarterback agnostic too. Let's go to other options here. Let's just start right with the more difficult questions. So we don't have a definitive answer on if Woody Marks is going to play in the game. That having been said, the latest news I saw was that it's trending towards he's going to play. If Woody Marks plays in this game, I think he's a shot. I would not have him as probably start at all. I wouldn't have, judge your options, but he erases basically all the stuff we were saying about Chubb or Jawar Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
If Marks does not play, I guess that makes Chubb a shot, or Chubb and Jordan a shot, or what do you think?
I think Chubb is an
Or just stay
RB.
away?
I would try to stay away, but I think he's like an RB3 with upside and Johnson, what you call it, whatever his name is. See, I wouldn't even play him.
Okay, that low.
Yep.
All right. Other wide receivers, the other options, the wide receivers for the Texans. I'm not bothering with Kirk. I'm not bothering with Higgins, not in this game, but I'm excited about them for next year. So, but definitely Higgins at least. The Chargers, though, so I mean, Keenan Allen, we already identified as a drop candidate. I'm not bothering. I'm not playing Gadsden. We already had him as a drop candidate. But, Quentin Johnston, right? Like, I mean, he's explosive, but again, they're playing a tough defense but you like him as a shot in this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shot. I mean, you want an explosive shot there. So, I mean, I'd probably say if, I was between him and Zay Flowers, I'd go Quentin Johnson.
Really?
Yeah. And, Snoop Connor is basically the quarterback over there. And
Brent
we'll talk
Huntley.
Brent Huntley, Snoop Connor, same thing. Um,
Yeah.
that's his nickname. But
Snoop Huntley.
Snoop Connor.
All right.
Um, but yeah, so I'd play him over him.
All right. Both of the quarterbacks we're completely staying away from. We're fully hands off on. Well, this is not, you don't need to be playing with them. Not in this matchup, not for your championship week. There's better options. So you stay away from them. Um, let's go to the next game then, because that question is going to come up here. So we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are home favorites, minus 2.5 points. The over-under is 41.5 points. I'm surprised the line is not bigger than this, but it is what it is. So
I'm not.
not too many points for the Ravens. So you're gonna play. You must start your Packers defense. Josh Jacobs, you're playing him, and the only other must start in this game is Derrick Henry. Now, just quick note on Jacobs. So Jacobs has the injury consideration this week. We already talked about this in the waiver wire. It's worth picking up Emmanuel Wilson in the event that Jacobs doesn't play. But this is another one. He's similar to Amon-Ra. Probably should tough it out and play the game. But I would have the insurance especially if I'm the Jacobs owner. So
100%.
keep an eye on that this week. Let's go to probably start. So Tommy, honestly, this is where I stuck Zay Flowers, but I'm not crazy about it. I mean, he's been good, but now it's Brent Huntley. Who else is Brent Huntley going to throw to?
Maybe he dumps the ball off to Derrick Henry.
You're assuming Derrick Henry stays in enough to catch dump offs.
Yeah, I hope he does because it's really weird that a player that goes out and scores two touchdowns, puts up 128 points, right? It's 128 yards. And then right after he scores that touchdown, when the game's on the line, they take him out for the rest of the game. He doesn't touch field. Interesting.
Very
And then New
interesting.
England wins. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So
Especially
I
when your quarterback goes out, you'd think you'd lean on the run game,
yeah, you
and
think
Derrick Henry.
so. You think so, Mr. Harbaugh.
Yeah. Well, I could say this. I might end up switching Flowers out of there. I would say Flowers is among the lowest names and probably start. So I'm not feeling that good about it. I might end up switching him out of there, but it is what it is. You might not have better options than that. So see what you got. Other probably starts in this game, and this is going to be dependent upon what happens with Romeo Dobbs. But we've got both Watson and Reed here as probably starts. I would say I'd be comfortable with them as a probably start as long as Dobbs does not play. If Dobbs plays, I think the whole wide receiver room is a wash. I mean, you could take your shot. Some guy is going to have a good game, but good luck trying to be predictive on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like we talked about some of these like second and third string quarterbacks. They usually tend to go to the lower tier wide receiver that might be in there. Like a Dontavian Wicks could have a nice day.
But Love is going to play in the game. It,
Are
it
you
look
sure about that?
it's trending towards he's playing. Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to play this game. Yes.
Okay.
Now, here's the deal though. First of all, if it's Malik Willis, I don't want to play any of them. No, nobody. But if it's Jordan Love, then this is the situation that we're assuming with them. So let's get to the other options then. I mean, we might as well start there. That being said, it's not like I want to start Jordan Love. I mean, I'm not crazy about the over under. I mean, plus the injury situation. Like, I mean, I'm not, I don't want to go that route. Obviously not playing Brent Huntley, but other options. I mean, are you, we already said goodbye to Mark Andrews on the waiver wire show, right? So therefore we're not playing Mark Andrews, right?
Yeah, we're also saying goodbye to Isaiah Likely because he's
Well, we'll say goodbye to him. Yeah. So much promise that went away when Andrews was not traded and given however many millions of dollars on a contract.
which was also very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, just to reiterate, if Dobbs ends up playing in the game, you could throw in Watson, you could throw in Dobbs, you could throw in Reed. Not all of them is going to have a good game. So you guys decide which guys you want to take that shot on. I know you're partial to Watson in all respects. So take your options as you have them. Let's go to the next game. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Carolina Panthers. The Seahawks are road favorites, minus 7.5 points. The over-under is 42.5 points. I looked at this line a couple times. I was expecting it to move. It never moved. I think I think Carolina covers the spread. I think
I
they keep.
think Carolina wins this game.
You think that they win this game outright?
Oh yeah,
Okay, that's a bold prediction, but
bold prediction, Cotton.
I would say Carolina covers the spread for sure.
I'd say they
Um,
win.
all right, so that being said, the implied points from Vegas, says that they don't have too many, so therefore you play the Seahawks defense. We don't change how we feel about that. The Seahawks have a good defense, you play them, and especially in a game like this, you're playing JSN, and on the Carolina side, you're playing Tet McMillan. Let's go. Probably starts in this game. This is where we've got Walker and Charbonnet, right?
Hmm.
So probably play either of them if you got them. I don't know. Do you think Charbonnet is going to have the better game? Last game they both had great games. So okay, you roll roll with who you think.
I think it just depends on the quarterback if he's going to start seeing ghosts.
Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. Darnold came back and had a good game the past week, and this is where we've
I
got
know that, but he played in Carolina when he started seeing ghosts again.
when he saw Ghosts again. I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't keep track after the first stint
a
in New
lot of
York.
ghosts, a lot of ghosts.
Well, this is probably starts. This is where we've got Sam Darnold here. So I think Sam Darnold is a perfectly fine play, especially given the line. And even if the Panthers end up winning the game, I don't see the Panthers shutting down the Seahawks offense. Do you? Like, if anything, it might turn into some sort of a competitive offensive game, if that's
I
what you're
think this
predicting,
game,
right?
I think this game hits the over in total compiled points. And I still feel that Carolina wins this game. I think Carolina is on a real hot streak right now. Yeah, Seattle's the same way, but I think Carolina is really feeling it. They're really feeling that they can overtake this and they could basically make the playoffs for since what 10 years ago,
Maybe
11 years ago.
it'll really shake
It's
up
a
the
massive
NFC.
and it's a massive organizational push for them to win this game because honestly, there's so much chatter about how the quarterback play has been really rough there for the past couple of years. And here you go. We talked about it. He finished off the year strong last year and he's back at it. He had a little bit of there was slight hurricanes early in the season, but it was a nice cool storm as the calm to the storm as the rest of the season went on. So,
Well, we'll find out. This is a big week for it. It will
Mr. Young,
it
go
will
get it,
it will
brother.
absolutely shake up the top end of the NFC if they were to pull this off.
100%.
Yeah, let's talk about other options. Let's just get Seattle out the way. I'm not interested in playing the tertiary receiver options for Seattle, Cooper Kupp, Shaheed, etc. They're shots. I mean, you could try it, but I'm not. This is not the game that I would do that. I will say we identified him on the waiver show. Barner, I think, is a good tight end shot if you want to take that. He's been getting a million targets, and he turned those targets into good production last week. So if you think it's going to be more of an offensive game, Barner's a good option if you want to go that route. But other options for the Panthers, and this is, I mean, Chuba and Rico both did not have the best game last week. Um, I mean, how do you see this playing out? I know you're always partial to Rico. Do you think you could play both of them? Do you think it's only
I think
Rico or
I think you could play both of them this week.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you compare them to, some of these other guys that you could take a shot on? How
They
would you compare them to Tyron Tracy, for example?
I played both of them over Tyron Tracy this week.
Really? Okay.
They're both going to score a touchdown this week, both of them.
Okay. More bold predictions. Um, yeah, it's how would you play them or Woody Marks if he plays?
I played them.
Okay, so you're feeling good about them.
Yeah, like I said, they're both going to score a touchdown this week.
Wide receiver options for the Panthers, Leggett and Coker. They're both good shots. I don't know if it's easy
S-
to predict who's going to have the good game though.
Sanders has been slightly getting involved as well too. But I wouldn't call him a streamer this year.
Oh, no. Bryce Young, this is not the game that I would take it at all. Not,
No,
no. But although if
no,
he if we want to be surprised, we'll be pleasantly surprised. It'll just happen on my bench or on the waiver wire.
yeah, but like I said, in order for them to control this game, they need to do it on the ground. That's why I think they have really two really good running backs that can actually perform well in this kind of setting. And it is home. It's not in Seattle. They're in a comfortable zone. They're not comfortable, but they're confident to take this game. So I think they're going to win this game.
Okay. Okay, bold predictions. My prediction is that they cover the points. They cover the spread. But Tommy's prediction is that they win outright. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next game. We got the Arizona Cardinals at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are home favorites -7 points. The over-under is a nice 53.5 points, the highest over-under of the week. There's gonna be lots of offense in this game. Lots of must starts in this game. On the Arizona side, you're playing Michael Wilson. That's it, man. No questions asked. Play him. Let's go. You're playing Trey McBride and you're playing Jacoby Brissett. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. On the Cincinnati side, you're playing Chase Brown, who scored 10 trillion points last week. Hope you had him on your team. You're playing Jamar Chase, you're playing T. Higgins, and you're playing Joe Burrow. Oh, look, he didn't lose his smile last week. I guess he'll keep it going. No boo-boo faces this week. Let's see. Probably starts. This is where we've got Michael Carter, and I think Michael Carter is a good play this week. I really do. I think maybe the upside is capped to a degree. It is what it is, but man, if you need that 12 to 15, I think he's the such a good back to get you that this week for sure. And this is where we've got Marvin Harrison also, and probably, they were quote easing him back in, Marvin Harrison, and so now he's playing one of the worst defenses in the league. So okay, Marvin Harrison, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully
I
they don't
would.
take him out,
Hopefully,
but
yeah. It just, it's terrible. Like watching the game and, you see him basically not on the field.
I know the whole easing process, but let's see. Hopefully, I will say this. Hopefully, their motivation stays up. So maybe Cincinnati just doesn't get up on top of them 21 points and then they just bank, phone it in. That's a real threat. So just consider that when playing your
Yeah, I
options
mean,
here.
as well as, we hope that Trey McBride actually shows up this week. He went 8 for 4 for 27 yards and no touchdowns last week.
Oh man,
4.7 points.
new superstar tight end for the Arizona Cardinals, Higgins or whatever his name is, Elijah Higgins or something.
Yeah.
Let's go to other options here. On the Arizona side, I'm not bothering with DeMercado, but no, it's Michael Carter. He's going to be the guy. Let it go. That's it. You don't no need to talk about Dortch. You got a consolidation of targets with Wilson, McBride, and throwing Harrison here and there. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else to talk about there. On the Bengals side, though, a lot of people are getting excited about Gesicki in this game. And I think it might be fool's gold. We've been here before where you got the Bengals putting up a lot of points and you're getting excited, and then Gesicki does nothing. Like we've been here
Mhm.
before. So I'm not going to let my championship ride on that guy getting a 2 touchdown game. So I'm not going for it. And sadly, there's no Santa Claus this week, Tommy. I'm sorry.
I know.
He will not be coming to town. Although I would be amazed if like he just catches like one catch for 1 touchdown this week. It seems like that could happen.
60-yard, one catch touchdown.
60 yards. We'll see. All right, let's go to the next game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Miami Dolphins. Tampa Bay are road favorites -5.5 points. The over-under is 45.5 points. This is another game that's got huge implications for Tampa here. They have to win this game. Have to, have to. Must starts in this game. You're playing Bucky Irving. You're playing Mike Evans. On the Miami side, you are playing Devon Achane. Probably starts. This is where we got the Buccaneers defense. Not too many applied points for the Dolphins, even though, considering, it's Ewers, he's not going to be that good. He didn't completely fail,
It's not yours, it's Ewers.
right? QE, as we should call him. So this is where we got the Buccaneers defense. My only trepidation is that the Buccaneers don't have a good defense. So we're basically just playing the matchup and the implied points there. Other probably starts in this game. This is where we've got Godwin, right? So you judge your options as you have them. I'd love to play Godwin over Zay Flowers. Not even a question.
You know who I also love to play over Zay Flowers? Jalen Waddle.
We'll get to that. I can't put him in probably though. I mean, it's too. He had a
I
decent enough game last week. You're right.
They have to throw the ball and
And I
and
have
and Ewers is
and they're
base
home.
and they're home and he is going to target the best player and one's going to break loose. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
anticipating a touchdown, but take 9 targets last week, five receptions for 72 yards against Cincinnati. Tampa Bay has not this, they have a little bit better defense than Cincinnati, but I mean, I'd still go that target right there. There's an opportunity. If a quarterback is targeting a player, he's going to continue to target a player. So
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm declaring it now. I'm taking Flowers off of our probably starts because you're right. it's
Thank you.
difficult to justify it over any of the guys. Now, I'm not
Yes.
putting Waddle there, but you're right. Your point's well taken. Only other guy here and probably starts. I mean, it's this is where we've got Baker, and we recognize that it has not been that good. It's been serviceable a couple games, and then this past week, I mean, if he might have cost you getting into your championship, but if you still have him, you could probably roll with him. You probably can. It's just, close your
I,
eyes and hopefully he doesn't look like he's in
I
pain
tell you
every
what
play.
he did cost me. He cost me basically getting into the multi-million-dollar pool.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. He's just playing hurt, but this should be a game against the Dolphins defense in a game that they absolutely have to win. This should be a game in which he could pull it off. He's got too many weapons. So, probably start. You judge your options as you have it. Would you rather play Baker Mayfield or Tyler Shough?
How show.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very close with that. I really am. Would you play him or Sam Darnold?
I play him over Sam Darnold.
Okay, so good. So he's well placed where he's at then. All right.
I don't like it,
Um,
but I will.
let's talk other options. I mean, right at the top, I mean, the Tampa Bay receivers, how the mighty have fallen. This is where Ibuka is. He's a shot now. You could take the shot. I wouldn't, not here, but you can if you want to. So if you want to take the shot, go for it. That's about as good as we could say for Ibuka. For the Dolphins, though, so Tommy, yeah, sell me more on Waddle. I mean, I know he had a decent enough game last week, but you're going to rely on Ewers to support him activity to get you to a championship. I mean, I don't know about rely on it, but what do you think?
I mean, I think that Waddle's going to be able to put up at least low end wide receiver two numbers as his floor. Um, so he'll have the opportunity based on his targets to do so. I believe that, he also had 9 targets. He had 5 catches. He should be able to, have a little bit more chemistry after another week's practice.
That's
So
fair.
I think that him and also potentially Waller do have a bounce back week.
Yeah, I was about to say, is everything you said commensurate with Waller too?
And not to the same level because, Q QE likes to fly that ball.
I don't know what else to
So
call him.
I don't know what to call him either. But he likes to throw that ball down the field. And who is the best player to do that outside of Tyreek Hill that's on that roster who's not on the field anymore? Jalen Waddle.
Okay. I feel mildly better about it because we might end up being backed into playing Waddle and
I don't think we're gonna be backed into it.
all right.
We're gonna move forward with him.
Happily. Yeah. So that's it for that game. Let's go to the next game. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. Jacksonville are road favorites minus 6.5 points. The over-under is 48.5 points. Um,
I'm
again,
really surprised by this spread. I thought Jacksonville would be a little bit more heavier favorite, like
I
maybe minus 9.5 or something.
because we had the whole TikTok thing where, somebody was saying something. All I said was Indianapolis was going to keep it competitive and be decent offensively, which is what they were.
And then all I said was, yeah, that's not gonna happen
But that is what happened. They were competitive and they were good offensively.
until the second half, and then it was over.
They were good
And
offensively.
then
They got
Robert Saleh came out and just basically made that defense perform.
it. All right. It's
Just
kind of how you
take
want to
it.
spin
Just
it.
take it. Just take it.
They scored more points than Vegas and thought that they would.
Okay.
And I think the same thing is going to happen here. I think
Yeah, I
the
mean, 44-year-old Philip Rivers threw for 278 yards or something like that and 2 touchdowns. It
yeah,
was a great day for him until the defense decided to play ball.
right, but by that point they had already done what my prediction was. So I had already won that situation. Okay, we're moving on to this game now. I do think that the same thing is going to happen. Their applied points total is currently 21. I do think they exceed that. Okay. So there we go. Bold prediction. So bold. Anyway, must starts in this game. You're playing Travis Etienne and you're playing Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how good Trevor Lawrence has to be before we fully believe in him, but his current roster percentage is like 50%. So if he's
He's
available
been the number one quarterback for the past, what, 3 or 4 weeks?
a couple weeks now, yeah.
Yeah,
Since their bye, I think.
you have to start him.
Indianapolis, one must start. Jonathan Taylor, and hopefully he can get it done. Hopefully he can get it done.
We all got
So
to remember what happened with Brock Purdy, who is not the most efficient quarterback as well, too. I think Trevor Lawrence has been playing better than Brock Purdy.
absolutely.
Purdy threw for 5 touchdowns that game.
Yeah, the Colts defense has fallen off the planet here.
Yeah,
So
it's open field out there. They're
yeah.
playing 7-on-7 a little bit.
Let's go to probably start. So, this I've compromised on the Jaguars defense. The internet, basically everywhere you look, has the Jaguars defense as a must start. I would have had them as a don't play. So we'll compromise and put them as a probably. I see them somewhere between the Buccaneers and the Raiders Giants situation. So
Well, if they're probably playing, you feel like they're going to surpass the 21 implied points for that offense, why would you play them?
I wouldn't. I'm making a compromise based
So
on,
why are we telling our viewers to potentially
well,
play Jacksonville?
Well, I can defend that because also you got to remember how fantasy scoring works. Maybe the Colts do end up putting up more points than 21 points, but if the Jaguars are opportunistic and they get a couple turnovers, then they end up being a better defense than some other teams. Like we've had this discussion before about teams that will hold another team to 10 points, but then there's not any turnovers or there's not any sacks. And then where's your defensive value at that point? I don't see the Jaguars doing that. Not against like Philip Rivers and stuff. There will be some turnovers in this game. So the Jaguars are, I think they're well placed as a probably. I wouldn't play them over any other of the teams we have in must. So there you go.
Okay.
There's the explanation. Other guys in probably, and this is where I want your expertise. You know the Jags in and out here. Um, Brian Thomas, Jacoby Myers, and Brenton Strange. All of them are good plays in your opinion here.
Ge- So I think that Brian Thomas and the law firm of Jacoby and Myers are high end wide receiver two plays. I don't know if I would want to play Strange this week because I don't think they need him to that extent against this defense.
He just
I
came
think
off a
on
very hot game.
I understand that, but I do think that, because that was a stronger defense that was more team situational. I think that they can focus on the run game here a little bit more thoroughly with Etienne basically touching the ball at least 20 plus times here. I think Etienne's going to have a fantastic day.
You're probably right. Um, there's going to be some value to be had in the wide receiver room. I would say if Brian Thomas, Jacoby Myers, and Parker Washington, for example, I'd say Parker Washington is a clear third to those guys,
Yeah.
although we recognize the talent of him. But I sort of agree with what you're saying. It's like there's no reason why both of these guys can't perform, or even all three. I mean, if you think Jacksonville is going to go in and demolish them, or at the very least put up a whole lot of points with Trevor Lawrence, etc., then maybe they could spread it around. But maybe you're right. Maybe ETN just swallows up a whole lot
I mean, when the team made that trade for Jacoby Myers, that is what made this team great. This team
among
is
other things. But
this
yes,
team is a fantastic offense, especially with Liam Cohen's offensive scheme. This team is put together right, and it opens the door for Brian Thomas to prosper as well too.
okay. Well, let's get into other options here. I mean, for this reason, I mean, we talked about it on the waiver show, Tommy. We recognize Parker Washington's talented, and he absolutely had a great game. But at this point, if you throw him right in here, it feels like you're chasing points, which is something we don't want to do.
No,
So we're not going to take that shot. But we recognize a lot of people might. So take your shots as you have them.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. The Colts, though, so you tell me, are you willing to take that shot on Pierce? He was big on our waiver wire.
Yeah, I mean, Pierce is definitely somebody that I would say you could flex this week. He could put up, higher end wide receiver two numbers, just based on the talent he has and also what Philip Rivers is going to have to do against Jaguars defense. I think you could continue to roll with him there.
How do you feel about Ty Warren? I purposely has been
Like I
afraid of
said,
him.
yeah, like I said, I mean, I said in the waiver show, Ty Warren has been getting like decapitating throws, like in triple coverage, just being like lit up left and right. So maybe that changes this week, but I would probably steer away.
Yeah, and I'll just make a quick mention to the Pittman owners. Sorry, guys. I just don't think it's going to be a thing with Rivers. He's just looking elsewhere. If you want to take that shot, fine. He's quote unquote the number one receiver, but I think it's just been a change in how the offense works. So sorry, guys. I would not be taking that shot. I'm going to be, any questions that we get on him, I'm probably going to be saying no to Pittman, But
Got to remember, Philip Rivers is trying to go for high yardage. He's going for a lot of yards because Matthew Stafford is still trailing him by a couple of yards.
yeah. And but by that logic, I wouldn't play Downs either. So there you
I
go.
think Downs has a decent opportunity, but I wouldn't play him.
Let's go to the next game. Oh man, we have to talk about this game. We got the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. The Patriots are road favorites minus 12 and a half points. The over-under is 42 and a half points. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the second greatest defense this week, the Patriots defense. If you have them, please play them.
I think this is the first greatest defense this week.
I think Denver's better. Casey has 12 implied points. Yeah, but it's very close. Very, very close. We can have that fight. The Patriots are going to kill them. Play the Patriots defense. Play Travion Henderson if he plays. Otherwise, play Ramondre Stevenson. And honestly, I was mentioning it on the waiver show. I feel like you could play both of them, even if Henderson plays. Honestly, like it's just they're going to kill them. They're
Hmm.
going to kill them. Other must start in the game. You got to play Drake May. He's going for the MVP. I don't know if he gets it. I think it's going to be very close between him and Stafford. Very close. If the Patriots win out and they end up with the number one seed and Denver loses in some way, I think it'll be a real fight. But if they don't get the number one seed, it'll be just on their merit, and I think Stafford might win. But we'll see how that goes.
I think if they win out, he gets it.
Okay. Let's go to probably starts. So I mean, this is where he's lived basically the whole year. This is where Breece Hall is. Okay. If you want to do it, go for it. Hopefully he PPRs his way to some kind of relevance. It's not been pretty, but this is where Breece Hall is. Sorry, guys. There it is. It's the best that I could say about Breece
And there's
Hall.
nobody else on the Jets that I would actually put in my roster.
Yeah, no other general. I'm not. I guess you could take a shot on Adonai Mitchell, but we're not going to
I'm not doing
recommend
it
that
this week. No, no.
against the Patriots. Other probably starts in the game. This is where we've got Diggs, and this is where we've got Henry. So an extra asterisk goes to both of these guys if Butte and if Demario Douglas don't play in the game. We don't have the updated information on that, so pay attention to the news on that. But we do want to mention that if both of those guys don't play, I think Matt Collins is a decent enough shot himself in the game. They're gonna put up so many points in this game that you want to get pieces at that point.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on the news on that. Matt Collins could be a decent right off the waiver wire. Plug him right in if that's what happens. So pay attention to the news on that. And like we said, we're not playing a single other player on the Jets, including Adonai Mitchell. Sorry, guys. Move on. The Jets are awful. Going to the next game, we've got the New Orleans Saints at the Tennessee Titans. The Saints are road favorites minus 3 points. The over-under is 38 and a half points. Let me tell you something right now. I'm actually excited for this game. I really am. I like the teams have grown on me. They're fighting. They're really trying to, they're not the best teams, but they're at least fighting. So I like the spirit coming from them. And I especially like both of the quarterbacks. I mean, they're good guys making a name for themselves. Um, so must starts in this game because of the line. We got the Saints defense. Although I would say I've been a little impressed with the Titans offense as of late. So maybe, maybe temper your expectations a little bit, or am I being too cautious there?
I think you'd be a little cautious. I think this would be a good game.
Okay. Okay. So Saints defense for sure. Um, Chris Olave, let's go. The target king himself, right? Let's go. He's like the wide receiver 5, 6, 7, 8 or something on the season. We'll have
He's
to look.
great.
Yeah, he's been great. And he's been amazing with Shough. By the way, I had to look it up. So it is Tyler Shough. That's the way to say it. So that's how I'm going to be saying Tyler Shough from now on. We'll have to get ourselves in the mind melt to say it. Other must start in this game, Juwan Johnson. I don't know how you don't play him after that performance. And now with Vele being out and with Taysom Hill taking running back duties, right? Juwan Johnson at tight end, right?
Do it.
Let's go. Um, no must starts for the Titans. Let's go to probably starts. One name in this, and this is where we got our boy, Tyler Shough. This is it. If you need
Tyler
it,
Show.
Tyler Show. It's let the show begin, whatever you want. If you needed a streaming quarterback, he was the only one that, from a widely available perspective, we could identify. He should have a good game. He's going to be on a lot of teams in terms of that winning them their championship for anybody who is streaming quarterback. He's great. Especially in 4 point touchdown leagues. I think he's even a little bit of a bump up.
So you wouldn't touch Taysom Hill.
I didn't say I wouldn't touch him. We didn't get to other options. Let's go to other options now. So let's just go right to the Saints. So Taysom Hill. Tommy, I would not put Taysom Hill as a better option than any of the tight ends that you see in probably or must. Would you?
Uh, I might play Taysom over Brent Strange this week.
Okay. That's just on the fact that he's going to be splitting some running back duties, basically.
Hmm.
Okay. There's a lot of upside there. There's no way around it.
And
He
there's also passing upside as well too.
That's true. If we identified him as a waiver pickup, I think he's a good shot, and it's definitely a ceiling play for sure. If you need that, you could get that out of Taysom Hill. Um, Kamara's not going to play, right? And Neal's not going to play,
Nope. Neil is on IR.
and Kamara's not going to play. Yeah.
Who
Do you
knows?
care?
No.
Well, nobody's going to be interested in playing Estime then.
No.
Okay, I bet you some people would.
Well, good luck. You're gonna lose.
All right. Here's the deal. We won't be sarcastic about it. I would not be playing Estime. I know Tommy definitely wouldn't. You could definitely find better running backs elsewhere for sure.
Yes. Like Taysom Hill.
You can't put him in your running back position.
You never know. I mean, like in certain formats, he might have like hold like 17 different positions.
He doesn't. Not in Sleeper, not in ESPN. Those are the only ones we care about. All right, Tennessee here. So Pollard and Spears. Um, I know you're going to say Spears as a shot, and you're going to say no to Pollard, but they both have been decent, and they even had some blow up weeks. How switching on and off or whatever, however many weeks. So I think both of them you could throw in, maybe cap your expectations. But I know you're
Uh,
partial to Spears though, right?
yeah, I think Spears has the better day.
Okay. Okay. You take your options as they are. Would you rather play Spears or would you rather play Rico?
Rico.
Okay. All right. Well, you're that high on the Panthers backfield too. So
Yep.
would you rather play Spears or Woody Marks?
Spears.
Spears or Michael Carter? Well, we know the answer is Carter, but
Yeah, Michael Carter.
all right. No way you're playing any of the pass catchers for Tennessee, right? Wide receivers or tight end?
That is a big hell no.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. The Pittsburgh Steelers are road favorites minus 3 points. The over-under is a tiny 33.5 points. Not many points for either teams, but especially not for the Browns. So must start. You're playing the Steelers defense. Guess what? In DK Metcalf's absence, especially, you are playing both of the running backs, Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. I was trying to think in my mind who might be the biggest beneficiary of DK. Is it going to be Roman Wilson? Is it going to be Calvin Austin? It's going to
It's
be
going
Gainwell.
it's gonna be Adam Legacy Thielen.
Thielen. I'll bet you he might catch a touchdown just
He's
so
gonna
it's a
catch
funny.
he's gonna catch two.
No, the beneficiary should be Gainwell if we're following the process,
Telling you
ladies and
something right
gentlemen.
now. Adam Thielen, he messed up game one, but game two he was all right. Game three,
Yeah, is it
let's
enough
go.
for you to be able to put him in your championship game?
No, but I'm playing him in
Mm.
daily.
On DFS. All right. Um, the only other must start in this game, it's the only guy for the Browns, is Harold Fannin. He's the entire passing offense, so throw him in there. Shador should be looking for him every play.
Yeah, I mean,
Let
if his finger's fine.
I think he'll be fine. So let's go to probably starts. This is where we got the Cleveland Browns. The implied points for the Steelers is only 18 points, which if the Browns were favored, this would be a smash play for us, but it is what it is. You play the Browns when they have this low implied
This
points, right?
this is
I
gonna
mean,
be the game that Miles Garrett breaks the record,
that's what we're
and
saying. Yeah,
yeah, he's gonna break the record this week. But I think that he's gonna break the record, and he's gonna like slightly slow down a little bit,
maybe, maybe. Um,
and Aaron Rodgers is gonna sling it.
well, then we didn't identify him as a streaming option, Aaron
I
Rodgers. I
don't think
mean,
I don't feel comfortable with putting him as a streaming option,
well, then
but I
don't
think
say he's gonna sling it.
he's
Like,
gonna sling it, but I don't feel comfortable with playing him.
all right. Well, let's go to other options then. I mean, by that logic, and we already talked about it, like I wouldn't be playing a single other play on the Steelers. We recognize DK won't be there. And like I said, I think the beneficiary is Gainwell and Warren. So I'm not playing any of the tight ends, the biggest guy in the world, Washington or Freiermuth or anything. I'm not playing Roman. I'm not playing Calvin Austin. I'm not playing any of them. But on the Cleveland side, we talked about the running backs this week. So Tommy and I had a disagreement. If Sampson's in, then I think Sampson has the whole backfield, and I think it's a decent shot at running back on the same, basically on the same level as like Spears or Woody Marks or something. However, Tommy disagrees. He thinks you should just stay away from the whole backfield. But you said you like the upside of Sanders if Sampson doesn't play.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Then take of that what you will. I think it'll just be a mess in general. But or no, you were saying that you think Sanders is even good even if Sampson does play.
No. I said no. It was Sanders is the
Otherwise, hands
play.
off. But
Correct.
okay. Okay. Yeah, the more I think about this, it's like no matter what the situation is, I think I'm not feeling that good about it. So I think you could find better options, but the more and more I see it. Let's go to the next game. You got the New York Giants at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are home favorites, -1.5 points. The over-under is 41.5 points. Before I say anything else, Tommy, I have to ask you, because this is a gigantic online. How much self-sabotaging do you think is going to happen in this game?
Well, for which player?
For the any players on both teams? Because remember now, this is a fight for the number one overall pick here.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to talk about self-sabotage because honestly, you really don't hope that, but it is in Vegas, so what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Can I present one bit of evidence? I think the Giants win this because they don't need the number one pick. They got
Yeah,
Jackson Dart, and so they don't need the number one pick to parlay it for Mendoza, whoever else they were going to have. So I think the Raiders lose this game. I think the Giants win, and that's it. And then it's done. That's it.
okay.
So must starts in this game. You know, this is where we've got Jeanty. It's hard to walk away from what he did in the past game now that he's going to be playing a worse defense, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jeanty, it's just gonna be like this trap game though. Genty's just not gonna do anything this week, but
He, it's hard to sit him. It's hard to sit
I
him though.
know it's really hard to sit him. I mean, he went off against the Texans. I mean, there's no reason
All
to
right.
even think twice about it. You're playing him all day long.
The only other must start here is Brock Bowers then. And we're excited about Brock Bowers for this game. We're hoping for Brock Bowers in this game.
Well, the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants are the number 28. They're number 28, meaning like it's a
They're
bad
bad
matchup.
defense against tight ends. Yes.
No, they're yeah. They let up 8.8 points against tight ends this year.
Oh, so then they're a tough match against tight ends,
Yeah.
is what you're
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
Well, that'll get fixed. We'll see. Um,
Hopefully.
let's
Because
go
he's
to
not like a tight end. He's more like a wide. They put him out in the wide receiver.
let's go to probably starts. This is where we've got both of the defenses, the Giants and the Raiders. And honestly, I would say like it's probably the Giants here. The Giants have a higher upside because the Raiders O line is just horrific. So if you want sacks and stuff, it's coming out of the Giants here. Other options in this game, let's just quickly get through the Raiders. I don't want to play anybody else here. I don't want to play any of the wide receivers, not Tucker, not Lockett. I know a lot of people are obsessed with Tucker. This is not the game that we would be comfortable throwing him in there. So we would say our suggestion would be to stay away. But on the Giants side, go ahead, Tommy, Tracy or Singletary.
Tracy, I guess.
Tracy, I guess you seem so convicted about it.
Yeah, Tracy, I guess.
Okay, how do you feel about Wandale Robinson in this game after that horrific performance by him and by Dart in the past game?
He's gonna have a nice bounce back week.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, do you think that about in general with the whole team, or do you think it's
Wandell is playing for a contract.
yes?
He's needing a contract, and I think that there was massive disconnect last week with the Giants. And again, we're going against a very good defense in Minnesota.
Yes, you're right.
So the way the game started, Minnesota was full throttle. They had everybody there, and the way it ended, they didn't. So
No, you're right. No, I agree with that. Um, yeah, let's go to the next game. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo are home favorites, -1.5 points. The over-under is 43.5 points. So this is another gigantic game for both teams. So lots of points to be. I mean, Vegas doesn't think there's a lot of points to be scored. I think this hits the over personally. So
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of players that you're playing in this game. Must start. You're playing Saquon Barkley. You're playing James Cook. You're playing AJ Brown. You're playing Jalen Hurts, and you're playing Josh Allen. Let's go. Probably starts in this game. This is where we've got both of the tertiary options for the Eagles, Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. Like we say all the time, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, they're not all going to have good games. You decide who you think the odd man out's going to be. Usually it's Devontae Smith, but maybe it's Goddard's turn. But right now they're both in probably starts. You judge your options as you have them. No probably starts for the Bills. I can't. I could not bring myself to put Shakir here. Not in this game. I was really discouraged by how it looked last week. Now, if you want to take that shot, fine. So he's a general option. If you want to take a shot on him, fine. But I'm not. There's in no way are we going to recommend him as a probably, not in this game. Um, I will say that if you were going to take a shot on the tight ends, I think I'm inclined to agree with what you said in the waiver show. Probably Knox over Kincaid because I think Kincaid is still halfway injured, I think. Um, but I don't want to play either of them. I think that there's better options elsewhere, right?
Yeah. No. I like what Knox has been doing on and off, but I just feel like there are better options out there. Like I'd definitely play Taysom Hill over those guys.
So would I, 100%. I would play Hunter Henry over them, Dalton Schultz, etc. Yeah, it's not even
Yeah.
a question. Now, some of the other options, I'd play AJ Barner over them for sure, for sure.
I'd play
Um,
Tonjes maybe.
oh, we'll get to him. We will get to him. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are home favorites minus 3 points. The over-under is a nice 51.5 points. This is
And
going to be a great game.
this is Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night football. Let's go. Must starts in this game. You're playing DeAndre Swift. On the San Francisco side, you're playing God himself. You're playing Christian McCaffrey. You're playing Juwan Jennings, and you're playing Brock Purdy. The implied points total for both teams is very high. This should be a really good game. Probably starts. This is where we've got DJ Moore, and Luther Burden is out of the game. We do not know about Roma Dunze yet. However, does it matter to you? Do you care, or is DJ Moore still just a probably start in this game?
DJ Moore still probably a star for me.
Okay, I would really love it to see Rome not in the game, but I think he might have made a statement last week with how he performed, and
Yeah.
Rome's going to be coming off. He won't be 100%. Also probably start. This is where we got Caleb, man. So, he's got some good implied points. The San Francisco 49ers do not have the best defense. Let's go. Caleb Williams probably start. Would you play Tyler Shough or Caleb Williams? Tyler Shook,
Ty-
anyway.
Tyler Show.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Darnold or Caleb?
Caleb.
Okay. All right. Probably starts for the 49ers. This is where we put Kittle, and I want to just 2 seconds to break this down. Normally speaking, it wouldn't even be a thought. Kittle would be a must start. However, if even if Kittle is in, I'm nervous about playing him. That injury looked bad. The fear of a re-injury or just him being taken off the field is so high. So high. So
Yeah, I mean he has a mid to low ankle sprain. So, it is kind of like a week to week kind of thing, and I think this is a week that they should just rest him.
I agree with you, but they might try to stick him out there, and then
I think it's
you won't know how to
yeah.
handle it. Um, Here's what we said on the waiver show. If
Well,
you're,
you know how to handle it. You play him. If he's out there, you play him.
I would you judge the options because if you have Dalton Schultz, I'm not even questioning it. I'm going to play Dalton
Yeah,
Schultz.
but if you have George Kittle, you don't have another tight end on your roster.
Well, that's what we talked about in the waiver show. You brought him up a little just a couple minutes earlier. Jake Tonges. If you're the Kittle owner, you absolutely need to have Jake Tonges for this
Yeah.
week. Um, Not just in case Kittle doesn't play, but you need to follow the news and see like if he doesn't get in, like if he does not practice at all, I think I'm hands off on Kittle this week. But again, maybe you're more optimistic than I am. I've seen too many times where guys just go out after the first couple plays and then they don't come back in. So if you want to play with that on your championship week, go for it. But I would be real scared about it.
Yeah. Go drop your Devontae Adams to pick up Jake Tunges.
Right. It sounds crazy, but that's what you should do.
It's a league winner.
That's right. Other options in this game. I do think that Monungai is more talented than Swift, but I don't think the Bears are going to act on that this year. I think they're going
No,
to make that happen for next year. So I would not be too crazy about playing Monungai in this game. Even if Adunze plays, I'm not playing him in the game, not the first game back, and not after he's done nothing for however many weeks. So I'm not playing a Dunze. Like we said, not playing any of the other options. Oh, and a quick mention on Loveland. You could throw Loveland in. I was underwhelmed by what he did not do in the last game, but maybe he has a bit of a bounce back. He's talented. He's supposed to be the guy. I think he's a lower end option. Would you play Taysom Hill or Loveland? To me, I'd play Taysom Hill.
I'd play Taysom Hill as well too.
Yeah. To me, that's not a question. On the 49ers side, I'm not playing Pearsall, even if he plays, and he probably won't. I'm not playing Kendrick Bourne. Um, even if Kittle doesn't play, Tonjes is likely to be the beneficiary there. And I'm not playing Demarcus Robinson. He had one, I think he had two catches, one of which was the touchdown. So
Yeah.
everybody's getting all excited. Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not going there. No, we mentioned the guys that you should play. Yeah, that's it for that game. So let's go to Monday Night Football. We've got the LA Rams at the Atlanta Falcons. The Rams are road favorites, -8.5 points. The over-under there is a nice 49.5 points. A lot of must starts in this game. A lot of starts in general. Must starts. Kyren Williams, you're playing him. Puka Nacua, let's go. Matt Stafford, MVP Stafford, let's go. On the Atlanta side, you're playing Bijan Robinson, you're playing Drake London, and you're playing Kyle Pitts. How could you not, right? Like after what he's done,
Yep. You're going,
like
going,
keep
rolling with it. I mean, he's playing for a contract as well too. So keep it
staying,
going.
stay in the flames. Probably starts. This is where we've got the Rams defense. They're too good of a defense I get it, they're on the road and the Falcons have a decent enough offense, but again, it's hard to sit a defense like that. And this is where we've got Blake Corum. And Tommy, I like Corum this week because if they go in and they smash this team, and especially like without the Devontae and how they've retooled their offense, I think both backs could just go crush it, Kyren and Corum,
100%.
right?
100%.
So I reiterate to you, who would you play, Corum or Hampton? Full PPR.
Mm. I know I said Hampton, but I'm gonna go Quorum now.
You changed your mind now. You're
I
flip-flopping.
swapped. I'm a flip flopper, but it's on the record. Go Blake Quorum.
Blake Corum or Kenneth Walker.
Blake Quorum.
Okay. And I know you'll say Corum over Carter. Although Carter has a good floor this week. I mean,
Blake Quorum. Better team.
all right. Corum and Hampton, though, that's close. That is very
It's
close.
very close. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah. All right, let's go to other options then. We're staying away from the other receivers in LA. That's Tutu, that's Whittington, that's the other guy that I can never remember his name. It starts with a K. I forget his name. We're not bothering with Colby Parkinson. Sorry, guys. We tried and failed. We're not going down with the ship. Now we say that and then watch. Parkinson will have a great game now. I mean, it's just inevitable. It's how karma works. On the Atlanta side. We've already punted Mooney off a bridge. We're not bothering there. So just let Mooney go. But special note of Algier. Anybody who's rolling with Bijan is going to hate to see if Algier actually goes and vultures a touchdown. But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that we're playing him. So there we go. That's the full slate of games there. And just a quick reminder that all of our must starts and probably starts will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So for easy reference, go ahead and check us out there. And we're so excited about this week. Where we got a Sunday live, we got other stuff coming up. And
There we
closing
do.
thoughts, Mr. Lang?
Yeah, we truly appreciate everybody that tuned in this year, that made it to your Super Bowls, and that we will give you your start sit questions and answer to this Sunday. But again, truly, everybody, we wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and we will see you guys before the new year. Go win that championship. We love you all.
Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Thank you very, very much, everybody.
Nothing but love. Nothing but love.